The Vachanamrut, for those who don't know, it's a set of spiritual discourses from the last 10 years of Bhagwan Swaminarayan's life. It's full of many wonderful universal spiritual truths. It's from a particular tradition known as Swaminarayan, Hinduism, based off of Swaminarayan, the central figure. This book can be full of very technical Sanskrit terms and direct language, so I'll do my best to interpret it in a way that is comfortable for everyone here, but I am certainly no expert in this tradition at all. I'm only reading a scripture that has been sent to me by SkyGuardian. Today we're reading from Gadhadā 166. This one is all about misinterpreting the words of the scriptures. It's also about the 4 emanations of God. This tradition is a theistic one, so the word God is used often, but I tend to not like the English word God because in this tradition it means something very specific as well as diverse, used in very various ways, but nonetheless. Anfagun Vadhi Amas, Samvat 1876, which is equivalent to the 14th of March, 1820 in our calendar. Swami Sri Sahajanandji Maharaj was sitting on a large decorated cot on the platform outside the east-facing rooms of Dada Ghachaur's Darbar in Gadhadā. He was wearing a white case with a black border and had covered himself with a white blanket. Very cozy. He had also tied a white feto around his head. At that time, an assembly of munis, as well as devotees from various places, had gathered before him. That's the scene. Maybe there is a rainbow. If the sun's there, it should be on the opposite side. Well, it's all just bush behind me. The rainbow is within you, my audience. Thereupon, Sriji Maharaj said, "The Srimad Bhagavat describes Vasudev, Shankarshan, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha, the 4 emanations of God." This is a very well-known scripture, the Srimad Bhagavat Purana. Purana, we were just talking about. It's a story, a set of stories. In some places they are described as Sagun, whereas in other places they are described as Nirgun, as having qualities or not having qualities. And this is a big debate that we have all over the world. The source of the universe, here we call it God. Does that God have qualities, or is it beyond all qualities? The term Nirgun is used in reference to Vasudev Bhagwan, a particular form of the divine, and the term Sagun is used in reference to Shankarshan, Aniruddha, and Pradyumna, the 3 other forms of the divine in this Srimad Bhagavat Purana. However, when described as Nirgun, without quality, the minds of the listener and the reader are baffled as they draw the conclusion that God does not possess a form. This tradition is very big on God having a definite form. This, however, is their misunderstanding. Besides, the words of the scriptures cannot be understood in their true context by anyone except an ekantik bhakta, an absolute devotee. Which words? Words such as God is formless, universally pervasive, luminous, and nirgun, without quality. On hearing such descriptions, a goofball concludes that the scriptures describe God as being formless. The word isn't goofball here, but I'm making it a little lighter. On the other hand, an ekantik bhakta, an absolute devotee, realizes when the scriptures describe God as being formless and nirgun, they are referring to the fact that he does not possess a mayic form or mayic attributes. Mayic means material, referring to the material universe, maya. In reality, his form is forever divine, and he possesses countless redemptive virtues. There is also a reference to God being an immense mass of divine light. However, if there is no form, then there can be no light either. Therefore, that light must definitely be from that form. Take, for example, the form of Agni, fire. When flames emanate from his form, only the flames, not the form of Agni, are seen. A wise person, however, realizes that the flames are definitely emanating from Agni's form. Similarly, water emanates from the form of Varun. Although only the water, not the form of Varun, is visible, the wise person realizes that the water emanates from Varun's form. Agni is the deity of fire, Varun is the deity of water. In the same way, having the intensity of 1,000,000 suns, the divine light, which is like Brahma Satta, is the light of the form of Purushottam Bhagwan, God in his divine form. The scriptures also state, a thorn is used to remove a thorn. Thereafter, both are discarded. I've heard of this in the Upanishads. I remember this. They talk about ignorance being like a thorn in one's body. And so we use knowledge or wisdom, which is another thorn, because it's sharp and pointy, to dislodge the thorn of ignorance. And then, once you're done with that, you throw the thorn of knowledge away too. I think they're using it in a little different context here. But similarly, God assumes a physical body to relieve the earth of its burdens. Then, having relieved the earth of its burden, he discards that physical body. This is in reference to the verse, Yaya harad bhuvo bharam tam tanum vijaha vajaha kantakam kantakine vadvayam chapishti tuhu samam. Forgive me for my Sanskrit. From the first cantor, 15th chapter, 31st verse of the Srimad Bhagavad Purana. Hearing such words, the goofballs are misled into the understanding that God is formless. They fail to realize the form of God as being divine. An ekantik bhakta, an absolute devotee, however, has the following understanding. To fulfill Arjuna's pledge, Arjuna is the protagonist in the Bhagavad Gita, to whom the Bhagavad Gita is revealed to by Sri Krishna Bhagavan, who was with Arjuna as he left Dwarika on his chariot to fetch the Brahmin's son. Crossing Mount Lokalok, they cut through Maya's veil of darkness with the Sudarshan Chakra. Chakra can sometimes just mean wheel. And the Sudarshan Chakra is a divine weapon, kind of like a shuriken or ninja stars. But it's more circular, with more symmetries. Driving the chariot through that darkness, they entered a massive light. There they collected the Brahmin sun from Bhuma Purush before returning. But it was only because Sri Krishna Bhagwan's form was divine that, due to the power of that divinity, the wooden chariot and the horses, despite being composed of the 5 bhuts, elements, all became divine and like Chaitanya, like pure conscious awareness. In other words, they transcended Maya, material existence. Had their forms not become divine, they would never have been able to transcend Maya. After all, everything that has evolved from Maya ultimately merges into Maya and can never reach Brahman, the ultimate reality, the goal of all spiritual pursuits, which transcends Maya. Here, Brahman should be understood as Akshar Brahmandam or Akshardham. Thus, it was due to the powers of God's form that such Mayic material objects became non-Mayic, immaterial. A goofball, however, believes God's form to be Mayic, material, whereas an Ekantik sadhu, an absolute monk, realizes God's form to transcend Akshar and also realizes Purushottam Bhagwan, who possesses a definite form. As the Atma of countless millions of Brahma-rup Muktas, of liberated beings with divine forms, as well as of Akshardham. Therefore, regardless of which scriptures are being read, if they describe God as being nirgun, without form, one should realize that they are merely extolling the glory of God's form, but in fact, God always possesses a definite form. One who realizes this is known as an Ekantik Bhakta, an absolute or true devotee. And thus we've come to the end of Gadhadā 166. So thank you for listening.